What can I help you with? I'll fill you in on what we know about the Black Blade mercenaries hired by the Swordbearers. They have about 4,000 soldiers stationed in these lands. They are split into at least 5 units that we know of. The first, a unit led by the Swordmaster, the commander of the Black Blades. They are powerful, elite troops. Next is the unit that conquered the East City using toxic mist. We are very aware of the danger they represent. They have not been seen in recent years, which is cause for concern. Then there is their naval force. They are rarely sighted in battle. But after the Temple of Fire was attacked, there were reports they made several attempts to approach it from the sea. We also believe that the Black Blades has a covert unit specializing in assassination. Many shield-bearer officers have been slain in the past 4 years. We think this unit was also responsible for killing the Fire Vestal. Last of all, there is the unit led by someone I care not to mention.
Huh?
If you're around long enough, you'll learn all you need to know and more. Best to see for yourself. What can I help you with? There's a good reason that the lines of battle were drawn at this bridge. 3 roads run north to south across this land, one each to the east and west of here, and this one in between. The central road that this bridge is built upon is wider than the paths to the east and west, and it serves as our main thoroughfare. The colossal weaponry the Black Blades have given the Swordbearers is too large to be hauled down any other road.
I see. So the enemy was forced to target this bridge to make use of it?
Precisely. We made this bridge our last line of defense, and the main body of the shield-bearers guards it. The Swordbearers need to cross the bridge, so they cannot attack it directly. This strategy results in the least casualties for our forces.
But even if you halt the advance of their main contingent, wouldn't it be easy for smaller units to slip past by other routes?
Correct. Small squads we are not aware of present more danger than the vast army we face before us. What can I help you with? What do you mean?
The enemy forces, attacking the bridge.
Oh, I see. The shock troops led by that brassy young woman. Our intelligence suggests she is a high-ranking member of the Black Blades.
That girl is one of their officers?
Don't underestimate her. She uses the power of song to bolster her soldiers and weaken ours.
The power of song?
Yes, her songs can be quite troublesome. All of our soldiers that hear her sing become confused. The Swordbearers bombard us from the opposite bank when they see us in disarray. We've suffered great losses from these attacks.
Songs that inspire allies and confuse the enemy. She must have quite a voice. I'd like to hear it myself sometime.
So it doesn't bother you that she's a foe? I hope her honeyed tones send you tumbling off the bridge.
I have no ulterior motives, I swear.
So, if you silence this girl, would that swing the battle in your favor?
Unfortunately, she is protected by a formidable force, and the narrow bridge makes it impossible to get close.
Then, let us try.
Oh! Is this the wind vestal we have here? What a delightful surprise! You've come all this way to hear me perform? Why, thank you! I am Praline a la mode! Prepare to be dazzled! Hey everyone! When you hear one of my numbers,
we go wild!
And when you see me dance,
we go wild!
Then get wild! Here we go! Love in the crossfire! Setting my sights again to
Her song has them entranced.
What a sweet voice! She's enchanting!
Don't listen to her. She'll mess with your head.
Let's do this! They're strong!
Don't they feel any pain? Nothing seems to faze them. Okay, everybody. Time to back up a bit. The time is nigh to blow them sky high! Fire!
Uh-oh. We need to pull back now, or we'll be obliterated!
I'm afraid we weren't able to break through.
If it is beyond even you, then we are out of options.
If only we could shut her up.
Can't sleep, huh?
Oh, it's just... I've had a few restless nights lately.
For a while, no?
Huh?
Ever since we've been traveling together, you've been like this. You haven't slept well in a while, have you?
You noticed?
Any idea why? There must be a reason for it.
There is, actually.
Hey, have you ever heard of the Siren song?
I have. A strange voice you hear out at sea, right? Sailors who hear the song become captivated by it and throw themselves overboard. It's a common tale.
That's right, the siren song that causes all to cast themselves into the sea. When I was even younger than you are now, there was a time it was heard throughout the whole ship.
A siren song? Was everyone okay?
It caused great panic among young and old. But a traveling bard who happened to be aboard said something that calmed everyone down. All you have to do is sing above the siren's voice. Brilliant, isn't it? He conducted us in song with his baton all night long, and the siren was defeated.
Wow, that's quite a story. Where did the bard go?
Who knows? He set off again soon after. One of the elders here might know.
Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. Come to check up on me? That's nice of you. My injury isn't that bad, though. I'd been working non-stop, so I probably just overdid it. I'm not as young as I once was. If only my son was still alive.
Ah, look who we have here! Oh, look what I found while cleaning up the place!
Could that be the Bard's baton? I wonder if we could borrow it for a while.
Really? What for? I certainly don't mind, so take it. I doubt I'll ever get any use out of it.
Thank you! Hey, there's something written on it. The most important thing is to have fun, it says.
Oh, look! The Wind Vestal and her merry band have graced us with their presence again!
We haven't come to hear you sing if that's what you think.
Oh, please! Don't pretend you're not captivated by this voice of mine. Because we all know when I sing...
We go wild!
Shut it! You won't get your way so easily.
Try as many times as you want, but it's futile. My personal guard would gladly die for me. Isn't that right, darlings?
We're here for you, Praline!
Thank you all! Let's sing a little tune then! Love in the Crossfire! Steady my sight, get you tonight.
Yeah!
Not so fast. Come on, shield bearers!
What are you doing? This isn't on the set list. Nobody can hear my song now. I'll just have to sing louder. Oh, this isn't working. Time to blow you sky high. How's that? No way! It's useless! Ah! Why are you being so mean? You're supposed to worship the ground I walk on! Oh! Kick the Wind Vestal and that other riffraff out of here! This has only begun!
I'm bored of you!
here!
I saved this for you!
songs to be heard. That does it. I'm going back to ordinary life.
No, Praline! Don't leave us!
I'm so sorry, everyone.
The plan went off without a hitch. You drowned her out completely. We should suffer much less attrition on the Eisen Bridge from now on. You've done us a great service.
Shh! We've come to help you. Are they really forcing you to work these mines?
That's right.
The shield bearers asked us to rescue you and your friends.
The shield bearers? But I'll be in trouble if the guards catch me slacking off.
You don't have to worry about that anymore. How many other children are there in the mine?
There are 20 of us on duty right now. No, make that 19.
Thank you. You go and hide in that shed with the others, okay?
Got it.
Hey, what are you doing in here?
That means there's 16 left. The shield bearers asked us to come and rescue you.
Okay, thank you.
Only 14 more to find. The shield bearers asked us to come and rescue you.
So we don't have to work anymore? Yay!
We have to find 12 more. The shield bearers asked us to come and
Thanks!
Alright, just 10 to go now. The shield bearers asked us to come and rescue you.
Thanks!
Eight more and we're done. The shield bearers asked us to come and
Thanks!
got to find the last 6. The shield bearer.
Thanks.
Okay, now there's just 4 to go. Just 2 more! The shield bearers asked us to come and rescue you.
Thanks.
Great! Now let's get out of here! Don't worry. We've taken care of all the guards. The shield bearers will be here to take you to safety soon.
Thanks, but what about Egil, the new boy? He was taken to the sword bearer's stronghold this morning. We haven't seen him since.
Why was he taken away?
Egil said something about finding a passage leading out of the mine. He slipped away from his post and was headed there, so he must have been caught by one of the guards. Please, you have to help Egil.
Okay, the sword bearer's stronghold, right? I'll go and help Egil.
Thank you. The sword bearer's stronghold is a place called Starkfort, far to the north.
Wait, Tiz! We should leave this to the shield bearers. It would be reckless to venture into the inner sanctum of the enemy by ourselves.
But I have to help him.
You've been acting stubborn ever since we got here, it seems.
I have to help him. No matter what.